Ariane Nicole Andrew is an American dancer, fashion model, professional wrestler, valet and singer who is currently signed with WWE under the ring name Cameron. Under her real name, Ariane joined the 2011 season of Tough Enough where she was the first competitor eliminated. She later signed with WWE and joined Naomi in forming the Funkadactyls. Since 2013, Ariane has been featured as one of the main cast members of Total Divas. Professional wrestling career, WWE, Tough Enough. In 2011, Andrew competed in a non-televised Diva Search and won, winning a WWE contract. Later that year, Andrew was one of 14 contestants on the revival of WWE Tough Enough. In WWE Tough Enough she said her favorite match was Alicia Fox vs. Melina. Florida Championship Wrestling. Immediately after being eliminated on the revival season of Tough Enough, Andrew confirmed on her official Twitter account that WWE had signed her to a developmental contract as she would then make her debut on July 7, 2011, as a ring announcer at a FCW house show. It was not until July 9 that she made her in-ring debut, under the new ring name Cameron Lynn, in a Divas Battle Royal, which consisted of Audrey Marie, Kylie Turner, Caitlyn, Maxine, Raquel Diaz, Sonia, and Ixana, in which she was eliminated first. On the October 9, 2011, episode of FCW Television, she made her debut with Byron Saxton accompanying Naomi to ringside during her match against the debuting Leah West, which she won. At the October 23 episode of FCW Television tapings, Cameron teamed with Naomi in a winning effort defeating the team of Kylie Turner and Caitlyn when Naomi pinned Turner after a leg lariat. The Funkadactyls. On the January 9, 2012 episode of Raw, Cameron made her WWE debut as one of the dancers and valets for the returning Brodus Clay. She made her WrestleMania debut at WrestleMania XXVII alongside Naomi during a segment with Clay. At the pre-show of the TLC pay-per-view on December 16, 2012, Cameron participated in her first televised WWE match, which was a Santa's Little Helpers Battle Royal which was won by her fellow Funkadactyl Naomi that would face the Eve Torres later for the WWE Divas Championship. On the February 6, 2013 episode of WWE Main Event, the Funkadactyls got into a backstage altercation with Tamina Snuka and Ixana after Snuka and Ixana began to persuade Brodus Clay to fire the Funkadactyls and hire them as his backup dancers. This led to their first tag team match in which they defeated Snuka and Ixana. On the March 15 episode of SmackDown, the Funkadactyls were attacked by the returning the Bella Twins in a backstage segment. On the March 22 episode of SmackDown and March 25 episode of Raw, the Funkadactyls attacked the Bella Twins after they interfered both times in Brodus Clay and Tensai's match against Team Rhodes Scholars. The Funkadactyls and the Bella Twins finally faced off in tag team competition on the March 27 episode of WWE Main Event, where the Bella Twins emerged victorious when Nikki Bella pinned Naomi after an interference by Rhodes. Cameron and Naomi were set to team up with Brodus Clay and Tensai against Team Rhodes Scholars and the Bella Twins at WrestleMania 29 in an 80-person mixed tag team match, however the match was cancelled because of time restraints. The match instead took place the following night on Raw, where Tons of Funk and the Funkadactyls emerged victorious. On the August 26 episode of Raw, Cameron and Naomi accompanied Natalya to an unsuccessful singles match against Brie Bella, until AJ Lee interrupted and declared war on the Total Divas against the Real Hard-Earning Divas. On the September 27 episode of SmackDown, Cameron was defeated by AJ Lee in singles match after AJ put Cameron in her Black Widow submission. The Total Divas defeated the True Divas in a traditional Survivor Series elimination tag team match at the Survivor Series pay-per-view and the following night on Raw. On December 15 at the TLC pay-per-view, Cameron, along with fellow Funkadactyl Naomi and Tensai, abandoned Brodus Clay because of his attitude, effectively disbanding Tons of Funk. The following night on an episode of Raw, Cameron and Naomi aligned themselves with R-Truth and Xavier Woods and started managing them to their matches. In January 2014, the Funkadactyls started a feud with AJ Lee and Tamina Snuka, when Naomi received a push and defeated AJ in various tag team matches on both Raw and SmackDown. However, their rivalry was cut shortly after Naomi suffered a knee injury during her match with Oksana on the February 3 episode of Raw. On the February 10 episode of Raw, Cameron pinned Oksana during a Six Divas tag team match, and later on the February 19 episode of Main Event, Cameron once again defeated her in a singles match. On February 23 at the Elimination Chamber, Cameron received her first shot at the WWE Divas Championship, a match which she won via disqualification after Tamina Snuka accidentally attacked AJ. Cameron received a rematch on the February 28 episode of SmackDown, but she lost to AJ after being forced to submit to the Black Widow. At WrestleMania XXX, Cameron failed to capture the title in the Vicky Guerrero Divas Championship Invitational match, which was ultimately won by AJ. Singles competition and feuding with Naomi. In June, Cameron was placed in a feud with Divas champion Paige, in which Cameron would begin displaying villainous tendencies, with the latter challenging Paige in 3 non-title matches on WWE Superstars and Raw, which Paige would win. The Funkadactyls continued their falling out on Raw and Main Event, in which they had a disagreement after winning a handicap match versus Nikki Bella. On the July 7 episode of Raw, Cameron and Naomi were defeated by AJ Lee and Paige after Cameron tagged herself in and was pinned by Paige. After the match, a brawl started between the Funkadactyls in and out of the ring, and as a result, Cameron turned heel in the process, as well as disbanding the team. The following night on an episode of Main Event, Cameron was scheduled to team with Naomi, Natalya, Eva Marie, Rosa Mendes and Summer Rae against Nikki Bella in a 6-1 handicap match, but instead showed up only to attack Naomi and Nikki. Cameron competed in her first match as a villain on the July 15 episode of Main Event, losing to Emma. Cameron attacked Emma after the match before being scared off by Naomi. These events led to a match on the Battleground pre-show, where Cameron defeated Naomi after a roll-up while pulling her thigh-high socks. On the August 7 episode of WWE Superstars, Cameron defeated Emma in a singles match. Other media, Andrew plays a main role for the reality television show Total Divas produced by WWE and E! The show began airing in July 2013. Personal life: Ariane graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Business Marketing and a Bachelor of Science in Psychology from California State University, Northridge. She moved to North Hollywood, California, where she worked as a behavior therapist for autistic children. In August 2012, Andrew was arrested in Tampa, Florida under suspicion of driving under the influence. According to a police report, Andrew's blood alcohol level was more than twice the state's legal limit. The report also stated that Andrew tried to bribe an officer into letting her go out of fear of losing her job with WWE. Her favorite wrestling match of all time is Melina vs. Alicia Fox. In wrestling, finishing moves: Girl Bye, Reverse Kneeling Facebuster, a Euro 2014, a Euro present. Signature moves: Crossbody, sometimes from the top rope, Double Knee Facebreaker, Hurricane Runner, Running Clothesline, Schoolgirl, sometimes out of the corner, Single Leg Dropkick, Split-Legged Leg Drop, Thesz Press, Wheelbarrow Bulldog, Wheelbarrow Split-Legged Arm Drag. With Naomi, Double Suplex, Simultaneous Split-Legged Leg Drop. Wrestlers managed: Naomi, Tons of Funk, Natalya, R-Truth and Xavier Woods. Entrance themes: Somebody Call My Mama by Jim Johnston, Girl Bye by CFO Dollar. Championships and accomplishments: Pro Wrestling Illustrated, PWI ranked Cameron number 37 of the best 50 female singles wrestlers in the PWI Female 50 in 2013. WWE Slammy Award for Best Dance Moves of the Year, with Naomi as the Funkadactyls. Wrestling Observer Newsletter, Worst Worked Match of the Year with Brie Bella, Eva Marie, JoJo, Naomi, Natalya and Nikki Bella vs. AJ Lee, Oksana, Alicia Fox, Caitlyn, Rosa Mendes, Summer Rae and Tamina Snuka on November 24. References. External links. Ariane Andrew's profile on WWE.com, Ariane Andrew on Twitter, Ariane Andrew with the Internet Movie Database.